Columbia, Missouri, which is about 300 miles away from my Hoopty Fleet headquarters in Wichita, Kansas. And I came to pick up my latest purchase, this 1993 Lexus ES300 that I bought for only $200. Now, I got this from a viewer who emailed me after his father quit driving and they put him in a nursing home. And this was his car, and he wondered if I was interested in it. And it was only $200. My first thought was this was some kind of remake of Kathy Bates in Misery, where he was going to break my legs and lock me in a garage and make me do YouTube videos for him for the rest of my life. But he sent me some pictures, and it actually turned out to be a real car, and it actually turned out to be decent. We'll see. I just got here. He left it at a buddy's body shop because he doesn't live here locally. And they're out to lunch. So in a few minutes, I'll get the keys and start it up for the first time and see what I got. Obviously, I have a little bit of work to do with the flat tires on the front, and there is a lot of poop on this thing. A lot of poop. Goodness. And a bra. I haven't seen a bra on a car in a long time. It's got kind of a petri dish going on underneath it. Ugh. Now, normally I wouldn't mess with a generic Lexus ES300, even though $200 is super cheap. But this one is even more rare because it has a 5-speed manual transmission. There weren't many of these sold, and they only did them for a few years. And apparently, this guy's father-in-law bought it new off the showroom floor as a leftover 93 and 94, and it's loaded out except for the manual transmission, and he's had it all this time. The stupid part of this is I didn't bring a trailer or a tow truck or anything. I'm actually planning on driving this car 300 miles home back to Wichita, a car that I've never seen before, that I've been told has been sitting for years and clearly is going to have some issues. So let's go get the keys and see what I got. Okay, moment of truth. The auto body shop is actually really nice. They said they have a free account over at a car wash down the street, so if it starts, I can get it down there. Get all the poo off. We're putting together a crew.
I'm in. Hey, everybody! I'm in. High five!
Oh. Sounds pretty good. It's not bad at all. And the interior is actually really nice on this thing. There aren't any lights on. I guess we'll air up the tires and then see how she drives. So far, so good.
That's about the same there.
Right, first drive. These tires are dry rotted badly, so if I'm going to go more than a couple miles, I'm going to have to put tires on it for sure. But other than that, so far so good. Wow. Engine's totally quiet. The transmission.
Yo, that's crazy.
Feels great.
That's crazy, yo. This motherfucker bought what he said, a 1993 Lexus that's been sitting for fucking years. Never seen this car. He goes in this old ass Lexus. That shit just starts right the fuck up. He just drives that shit off. A 93 after it's been sitting for like a couple of years with nobody driving it for years. Bitch starts right up, drives right the fuck away, yo. I say, when I started doing my research before I bought the car I got now, yo, I was not playing. I wanted a dependable car that I knew was gonna last me for a while because I don't want to buy another car anytime soon. And what I kept hearing was Lexus, 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 Lexus. If you want a nice ass, like, luxury car that's gonna last you and is durable, Lexus is the way to go. This motherfucker just hopped in this old ass Lexus that's been sitting for years. Start that bitch right up and drove that shit off, yo. That's how good those cars are built, yo. Lexus makes an excellent product. Their fucking cars are the shit, yo. And that's why I wasn't even hesitant to buy an older Lexus. Like, my car is 13 years old. That motherfucker drives like a brand new fucking car, yo. Like it's brand fucking new. I'm not gonna lie. I love my car.
Amazing. Oh my god. The previous owner even left a Beach Boys cassette for me, which is awesome. Got tunes for the ride home. Alright, getting up to the tire place. Little sheep fuzzy. That's nice. Ooh. Hey, pretty good. How are you?
205.65.
Finest, cheapest.
Okay.
Cheapest.
What's that you said?
205.65 15. Let's keep that in my head for about 5 more seconds. Let's go. Yep, 300 and change.
Yeah.
A car that I bought for $200.
Damn, the tires cost more than a car.
See if I can get home for under $1,000. You guys do oil changes here? While my Lexus was getting worked on, I headed over to Itchy's Flea Market to check out their wondrous items.
What's the worst movie in this DVD collection? Dirty Dancing Havana Nights, the sequel to Dirty Dancing. Yeah, that was pretty bad.
The sequel to Dirty Dancing, did not know Dirty Dancing had a part 2.
Yeah, that's the winner. Rusty Hammer for $5. It says Old Hammer. Oh, very nice.
Oh yeah. A John Wayne plate for $9.99. We're gonna come back to that one if I don't find something else good. Valentine's Day's coming up, actually. Need to finance something. For $21.95. And I don't think this is their intended use. I think you're supposed to plant something in it. But it'd be easily to fertilize. Yeah. Tactical grade assault knife for $4.95.
Good buy, right?
Good, great buy. I know exactly what I'm gonna use this for.
5 minutes later.
Yes. Okay, that's good. Oh, the windshield washer works. But the wiper blades are junk, so I just kind of made things worse. Oh. I'll get my fuzzy thing up here. Here we go. Get her on the highway.
I know how important quality education and good paying jobs are for our community, but politicians have let working families fall through the cracks. I'll work to improve job training and increase school funding. I'm Joanna Bryn Smith, and I will always put our community first.
Oh, that's good. This thing's perfect. It's smooth, it's quiet, there aren't any creaks or rattles. 135,000 miles on it, and now I'm $600 into it, and it's perfect so far. I'm gonna knock on the wood, and it actually does have real wood. Lexus needed to source their wood from somewhere, and rather than do plastic like so many others, they actually went to the Yamaha Piano Company to source their wood on the LS400, and I believe the ES as well. Another cool thing about the ES is the instrument cluster, which had these floating LED needles, but they burn out a lot, and unfortunately they burned out on this car. It does smell a little musty, for sure. So now I have it pointed westward, and we have about 250 miles to go to get this beautiful car home. I think she's gonna do it.
2 hours later.
This thing made it to Kansas City like it was just a normal day. This thing's new off the showroom floor in 1993. Should I take a chance on some celebratory handbrake turns, you know, for the ladies?
You know that's right, bro.
So.
Fuck that.
So I just have a few hours left of Wichita, and I already have my car detailer on standby. He wants to work on it tonight, so in the morning.
Got a new cast now. Oh, I got a sock in there too. I don't know, this new cast, this shit is the fiberglass, like the really hard one. And now when I wear my prosthetic eye walk, when I put this shit on, the rim of the cast right here like digs down into my fucking shin bone, and it hurts bad. So I stuffed a sock in that bitch to give me some cushion so that this doesn't grind against my fucking bones when I'm wearing my prosthetic limb. Forgot I had a sock in there. But yeah, shit, ain't nothing gonna stop me, bro. I still gotta do shit, still, you know. Shit still gotta get done. And I'm the man for the job. So now, this is the third cast I've had. Well, the first two were splints, I guess, because they were more like, they were padded and hard, but not like this. Like this shit is hard all the way around. The other cast, it was like, they had some plaster of Paris, and then they wrapped it with like those surgical, with like medical bandages or something to keep it tight. But this is like fiberglass. This whole fucking thing is hard everywhere. Like I say, with it even being hard on the front side, that shit hurts my leg a little bit when I like lean or kneel on that motherfucker. But I think they said 2 more weeks with this on, and then this comes off, and then I'm going into a boot, like a walking boot, and then start my physical therapy where I can like kind of start back walking again, because they said it's gonna be weird because I haven't put any real weight on this foot in fucking weeks. So I'm gonna definitely have that little limpy type shit. But yeah, when they took the splint off today to put this cast on, I actually saw my incision. Yo, that shit is gnarly looking, yo. That shit is ugh. It is big as fuck, and I got like 12 stitches, yo. Hunter Biden laptop videos. They were talking about that. Somebody posted that, you know, Australia news media was already running a story about child pornography found in Biden's laptop, while, you know, days into it, American newspapers aren't saying anything at all about it. So I was reading a story like yesterday or the day before that, like I say, some Australian news outlet already broke the story, and it was like, why is America quiet on this? I'm like, because America loves pedophiles and they hate talking shit about people who fuck kids, so go figure. That shit ain't nothing new, you know? All these motherfuckers, pedophiles and pederasts and all that shit. Yeah, when I see headlines like that, that shit don't even excite me no more. It's just like, kind of figured it. You know, that shit ain't like, oh my god, I've never would have thought that. Like, yeah, Joe Biden's son has child porn on his laptop. What else is new? What the fuck else is new? That shit don't surprise me either. You heard motherfucking Trump call his ass out with their last debate talking about, man, your son got a motherfucking coke habit. Yo, Trump told that man, your son a fucking dope head, nigga. And Biden was like, my son overcame his drug addiction, and I'm proud of him for that. I bet you are proud of him for that. But your son a fucking crackhead, nigga. If he tooting powder all hard like that and losing his way, you already know this motherfucker done smoked crack before. And if he done smoked crack before, you already know crackheads don't give a fuck if you record them smoking crack or not. They don't care if they on camera. So yeah, Hunter Biden smoking crack on camera, that shit don't surprise me in the slightest. Not in the littlest bit. It don't surprise me at all. Yeah. That's why Trump had to call him out, man. You see your son a dope head, man. Your son like them white lines. Yo, bacon bitch. I don't need to see that shit for myself. Once again, I can believe all that shit, yo. All these motherfucking elites be at the parties getting high. That shit don't surprise me. Hey man, they got the prince. They got one of the princes from England at Epstein's island fucking little girls. That so I mean, what can you expect from these type of motherfuckers? Huh? If a royal prince is on a pedophile island fucking little kids, why would it surprise you that Hunter Biden and Obama daughters doing coke together? That's the kind of games these motherfuckers like to play. That shit ain't disturbing. That shit just how these motherfuckers live their life, yo. My foot doing good, man. Got a new cast. And got a brand new multicolored cast. Motherfucking red and black. Oh, red, black, and white. Play, bitch. Got me some motherfucking. I got a cup of Jello shots. Ooh, these shit strong as hell too. Pineapple.
I'm standing out here squinting into the sun looking like an idiot just so you can see how beautiful this paint is. With all the bird dookie gone, you can really see the paint is in incredible condition. The bra that was on this car since new did its job totally to preserve the nose. And look at the inside. I can't remember the last time I've seen an original Lexus interior from the 90s that wasn't torn to shreds. And this one is still crazy nice. I really can't believe this is the same car I picked up yesterday. Now I know what you're thinking. Oh, congrats, Tyler. You just bought a rebadged Camry. But this Lexus is totally different. It's longer and wider than a Camry with a completely different body design, like a little integrated spoiler into the deck lid that looks like the old Lexus LS. And it weighs a lot more since it's larger and wider. And it has asphalt insulation for a quieter ride. Yes, asphalt. The suspension is also more advanced, and this car came standard with a 185 horsepower V6. That's some power there. Not really. Another interesting tidbit is this is one of the rarest Lexi in existence. And what the done, only a few hundred of these were sold in 1993, while there were 500 Lexus LFA supercars sold recently. So I bought this thing thinking it was going to be a fun beater to put in some kind of beater bash or a Gambler 500 event, but it's way too nice for that. So what do I do with it now? I'll have to fix the gauge needles and probably replace the brake rotors as they're pretty rusted. Then it's an almost perfect car for under $1,000. I certainly have to give a big thanks to Dan, the guy who turned out not to be a murderer and sold this car for an amazing price. And I'm going to have to find a way to pay it forward at some point. But no, I'm not giving this car away. I want to keep it. So what's one more, you know? Just one more. 15 cars isn't obscene, is it? Or is it 15? I don't know. There's a Bentley, the Lexus, and this Lexus, and the Porsche, and the other Porsche. And there's a BMW and another BMW, and a Subaru, and, oh, what else? Oh, the Jeep. Yeah, I got a Jeep and a Corvette, and a Buick. That's 11. I know there's more. I just can't remember right now.
He has a Bentley.
Huh. Oh, the NSX. Yeah, the NSX. That's kind of an expensive one to forget. Huh. Yeah. Oh, I bought a Ferrari. More on that later, if you're still watching. Thank you for watching.
That your Lexus? And really just a Camry.
A secret meeting at the Toyota headquarters is all.
Lexuses are just not Camrys. There's so much more. You know, they're the luxury versions of Camrys. Like mine is one of the beefier ones too. I have a ES 350. And it's an F Sport, yo. I say my shit is a full size 4-door sedan, but this bitch got 160 miles on the dash, yo. Like, and that shit got some get up and go. So, but my uncle had a he had a 2009 Camry ES something sport package, yo. I used to drive his little Camry. He used to love that fucking car. But once again, after doing research, you just realize that Lexus is Toyota. Same shit. Just a little bit nicer quality build. You know, a little bit more wood grain, a little bit more leather, a little bit more technology. The difference is the repair bill. And that's the thing, yo. Lexuses are easy to maintain. It's a Toyota, man. It's Toyota parts. Lexuses it's all, you can repair your shit for the same price you fix your fucking Camry for. I'm saying, but that's the thing too. Lexus, that V6, it's the VV dual valve something, yo. V6 engine that Toyota has. The same fucking engine, yo. Like you say, they port them shits a little bit bigger in a fucking Lexuses for more power to get a little more horsepower out of them shits. But them V6, those shits are fucking tough and last forever, yo. I said when I got mine, my shit don't even have 130,000 miles on it yet. You know what I'm saying? The engine just barely broken in. Because them Toyota V6, man, them bitches go 300,000 miles. Easy. In the transmissions. And my shit made in fucking Japan, yo. You open the driver door and look for the makers, that little plate that has all the build information on it. Like, my shit was built and assembled in Japan and then shipped over here. So the Japanese motherfuckers, you know, they level of quality and they specs, they don't fuck around with that shit, man. and it should be standard in every plant, but motherfuckers just say, yo, if it's built in America or Canada, like the quality is just a little bit less because we're Americans. We ain't on point like them Japanese motherfuckers be, man. They don't play around with that shit, yo. So I'm happy with my car. I ain't had to do shit to it. I just got that motherfucker. Well, I put some brand new tires on that bitch. Well, no. I did do a couple things. I put rear shocks on it. It's a 2007. And you can tell, like, nobody ever replaced the shocks. And they weren't bad. They weren't, like, to the point where the car was undrivable. But just had a little extra, like, bounce in the back. And so I replaced the rear shocks. I put 4 brand new tires on it. And I upgraded my radio and added a backup camera. Man, that's it. I'm gonna need an oil change in like a month. But I'm pretty sure I can just ride this bitch out for the next 10 years, yo. And I don't know, for the past couple years, I've always had 2 vehicles just for my art. You know, I need. It's in everything they do, yo. That honor shit is real in their culture, yo. It's in everything they do. If you're gonna do anything, do the shit right. Do it to the best of your ability, and that's just ingrained in them, yo. And their whole, like you said, their whole culture, their whole society. And when you look at how structured and organized their shit is, yo, it's just. I don't know. It's just like even somebody had this weird shit like different ways Japanese people do stuff, and it was like at an airport, and it's like somehow you can tag yourself on this map from what country you came from, and all the countries people just tag it randomly, but then people from Japan like somehow their shit was just in straight ass fucking lines, like everybody came up and put their shit in there so nice and neat, uniformly, straight fucking lines. And these are people who've never met each other. It's just like random people, like this is how we do shit. And everybody else all over the world just pin their shit all. And it's just like, it's something about organization and having shit, you know, tries to eliminate the element of chaos. That shit permeates their entire culture. And that's why they say like anything like some if you want a real ass car, like yo, make sure that shit built in Japan, yo. And that's the first thing I checked when I was buying my car. I looked at that fucking that little manufacturing plate on the inside, yo. Built and assembled in Japan. I'm like, all right, I'll take this one. Yo, what up, Jazz? Yeah, so now, like, I still got my old truck, but I would switch out my truck for something. Now I want a Lexus SUV. Yo, fuck that. I want the big ass, like the GX, even the old GXs, yo. Man, motherfuckers don't get them shits up for the cheap, yo. I seen the cheapest one I seen, yo, was a 1999 GX, and motherfucker, they went like over $6,000 for that shit. Looked at one like a 2000 still want like 20 grand for that bitch, yo. Why? Cause that Lexus, that shit they go break down, yo. Especially big trucks, yo. That's why it's hard as fuck to find a used one. Motherfuckers don't sell them bitches, yo. I say you gotta find like some shit from '99, motherfucker ready to sell that shit. Just want to sell your fucking 1999 Lexus. Motherfucker probably had that shit forever. What is this? The Lexus LS 400. Everything you need to know. But damn, that dude brought a fucking 1993 Lexus ES 300 for $200. How you even find a deal like that for $200? A Ferrari that's cheaper than a Camry? How the hell you find a car
As you
like
all know,
that?
if you've been following the channel for a while, I have pretty bad luck when it comes to Ferraris. Really, really bad luck. The first one that I bought, a 1995 Ferrari, a 355, it burned to the ground shortly after I got it running. And that was a total disaster. I ended up replacing it with a Ferrari Testarossa, which is a beautiful car, but due to a title issue, I had to send the car back. It had a voided title. So I feel kind of cursed when it comes to Ferraris, and I've since bought a very nice Lamborghini Gallardo that is much more reliable and much more practical. But even with that amazing car, I still find myself longing for an old Ferrari. Maybe it's my automotive masochistic tendencies.
Alright,
I don't know. But there's just something special about a Ferrari. The noise it makes, the styling, the really
I need to
analog
get
feel of the
something done
steering
on
with
this
the older
painting.
ones.
But first, I need to
just
write
kept
some names
looking for
down.
one, and finally, I found the perfect Ferrari. And it's why I've flown all the way from Kansas to the Florida-Georgia border to pick this thing up. Oh, and here it is. 1990 Ferrari 348. But here's the really special bit. 98,000 miles.
A 1990 Ferrari? A 1990 Ferrari with 98,000 miles on it. For how much?
I've been looking for a Ferrari that I can actually drive without here for a while now, and this 348 is perfect. It's a 1998 TS model, a Targa roof, 98,000 miles. And for me, it is just the perfect Ferrari. I love the way my Testarossa looked, but not really the way it drove. It was a big beast. The side straights were gorgeous. The 355 didn't have those side straights, but it drove much better than the Testarossa. So much better. So the solution really is this 348. It is absolutely perfect for me. It's far from a perfect car, but it's definitely perfect for me. This thing having nearly 100,000 miles on it is almost unheard of in the Ferrari world. So Ferrari guys, 30,000 miles is usually considered high mileage, and this one has almost 100,000 miles. Even more impressive is this thing's on its original engine. The transmission's been rebuilt, but we'll get to that in a little bit. I want to talk about buying this thing because this was the first Ferrari I ever tried to buy a little over 3 years ago, but I was too late. It was advertised on AutoTrader for only $20,000 3 years ago. $20,000. I called and called and called, and the guy didn't return my calls, unfortunately. And then I saw it had popped up on eBay, and it was bid up to $24,000, and then it mysteriously sold. Now, the guy who beat me to the punch on this thing actually watches my channel, and he knows of me and Doug on autotrader.com/oversteer. So he actually did a little follow-up letter for us after he bought it, and it turned out it was a pretty big disaster for him. He bought it for $24,000, which is an amazing deal, but it was way overdue for a major service, the belt service where the engine has to come out of the car. He went with an independent garage to do this and was quoted about $9,000, which isn't bad for a major at an independent shop, except they completely botched it apparently. He got the car back running poorly and other issues. They made a bunch of excuses after taking the $9,000 from him, and they ran. So he had no choice but to take it to the Ferrari dealer in Atlanta, Georgia, where they actually knew this car and worked on it to get the rest of it done. Then yada yada yada, Ferrari dealer did a bunch of things, and $30,000 later, he got a car back. So he doubled his investment into this thing. He pulled a Hoovy, and after enjoying it for a few years, he decided to sell it, and I bought it for only $35,000. So it's like being on the receiving end of what normally happens to me. I get to enjoy the fruit of someone else's suffering for once. This is great.
Hey guys! Places everybody.
The best in streaming is all in the Disney Bundle.
I feel at home here.
Oh, yeah! Epic stories, the largest streaming TV library, and can't miss sports. All for just $12.
And the guy who owned it before him was actually a Delta Airlines pilot. He owned this car for 14 years, and it looks like he did a lot of the work on this car himself. There's some weird homebred features of this car, which I'll show you now in a tour of the cheapest Ferrari 348 in the USA. I'm not sure if you all noticed, but I have a new shirt to match my Ferrari. I haven't done a merch plug in years, but I'm going to do it now because I've teamed up with InShane Designs. They're the ones who also work with Mike, Street Speed 717, and we're coming out with a whole new slew of products just in time for the holiday season. This shirt is the first. It is actually reflective, the Hoovie's Garage logo. I have both logos available on there in this silver reflective material, and they are very nice, comfortable, well-fitting shirts. So support the channel and treat yourself to a Hoovie's Garage t-shirt. I'll be running these for a limited time and then moving on to something else. Now, back to the car. Look at this thing. I just love the side strakes and, of course, the pop-up headlights. The paint is not original, and it is not the cleanest repaint ever, but really, I don't care. That just means that I can drive it and not worry about getting a chip or a dent or something like that. Also, to make it more drivable, although I'm not the biggest fan, are these Fast and Furious Sparco seats. But when I sit down in them, I understand why they put these in, because they are way more comfortable and supportive than the old original Ferrari seats. So maybe I'll hang on to these seats but reupholster them in something fun. But more interesting things here. Originally, the window switches would have been right here in the door card, but they have been moved here to the center.
All right, guys, I'm coming.
With some aftermarket switches, and you can see it's housed in a case of wood. It's like a strip of Home Depot wood here, and more hand painting around the gated shifter. And if you think that's strange, take a look at the carpet. This rubber mount was hand cut out to preserve the carpet, but it's not the original carpet. It looks like house carpet. Same with the door panels. This is definitely not factory Ferrari. This is original Ferrari carpet right here, so we have 3 different kinds of carpets going on. Even more hoopty is the fact that there's supposed to be speakers behind here, but they don't exist. So when you turn on this ancient Sony Explode stereo system, it does absolutely nothing. Under the bonnet here is the V8 engine, which is all super duper tidy and nice. Since it had its major engine out service just a few years ago with the Ferrari dealer, only 2,000 miles ago, it still looks beautiful. This car, even though it had a lot of little homemade things here and there, you can see there's a battery switch cut off right here. It was serviced regularly at this Ferrari dealer. That's where the previous owner of 14 years took it for the majors, so it had a long service history with them. Really long service history. I think it totals up to $60,000 since 1999. That's how much this costs to keep a Ferrari on the road. A lot, yeah. But I'm hoping this might be the first car that somebody else has had all the headaches before me to where I can just enjoy this car for a while. Hence, I'm planning on driving this car home 1,300 miles back to Kansas. Yes, back to Kansas. And we'll get close to the 100,000 mile mark. Not quite there, but really close. You have no idea that this Ferrari's at 100,000 miles. It feels like a normal Ferrari. Now that has a lot to do with the service history, which is this thick. Pretty much takes up the entire front trunk space, this binder full of receipts. But also, this Ferrari being used regularly is another big factor. The previous longtime owner had this thing for 14 years. He just drove the snot out of it. He took it to Road Atlanta and tracked it, and he just used it and enjoyed it, which is what a Ferrari was made for. They weren't built to be garage queens for people to look at. They were meant to be driven and enjoyed. And this 348 with almost 100,000 miles on it clearly shows that they
All right, I'm coming. Just checking messages. I actually took a long nap this afternoon, yo. Right before I came up here, and then I had to do some other shit, man. So there are a few messages I didn't check. But I got this.
Hours in the wrong direction, and I do want to get this thing close to 100,000 miles, so why don't we head south?
Yeah, so somebody shared, they got my brush holder.
It's all in the Disney bundle. I feel at home here.
Aha, this shit's all over the US now, yo.
The largest streaming TV library, and can't miss just $12.99 a month.
for your best sleep yet. Get a free adjustable base with the purchase of select mattresses. Plus, with free next-day delivery, you'll be sleeping better tomorrow night.
Freddy!
Well, this is new.
It is. Hello, Freddy.
I figured you could be my wizard.
Let's see.
Is that code for something?
No, I just want you to look at this car before I drive it all the way home. It's a 1990 Ferrari 348, 98,000 miles on it. But I don't think there's anything wrong with it. It's the first time I bought a car that...
That can't possibly be right.
I know, it's a 98,000 mile Ferrari. The previous owner spent so much money. It basically did the Hoovy thing, but just for himself, not even for YouTube, and lost all his money and then sold it to me.
Okay,
So,
you want to get on the lift?
yes, let's get on the lift and then see if there's anything I should be scared of driving it home.
Okay, alright.
All right.
Yep, let's do that.
And then you can give me, well, you don't charge anything. This is like,
I can charge you. I can invoice you. I'll invoice you. I take PayPal, Venmo, Cash App.
I can charge you. I can PayPal you. I'll take Venmo, PayPal,
Alright, before we
Cash
do
App.
that, what has happened here?
See what happened. So, listen, this is not important right now. Stop. This is...
Are you trying to get on an episode of Hoarders?
I mean, I'm not saying that we're booked for an episode of Hoarders, but we might be booked for an episode of Hoarders. This is, yeah, it's pretty bad. Those who live in glass houses don't throw stones, right?
Alright, well, I'm making my way over here to the dearly departed, my old Ferrari.
Oh, yeah, Mount Ferrari over there. Careful with the oil on the ground. This Lexus Exxon Valdez all over the floor.
Is that Matt Parrish's million mile Lexus?
It is. Actually, it's my million mile Lexus now. So, this is your old car. Right now, it's in a few pieces.
Yes, I see that.
Yeah, so the engine's not in and the interior's not in. But look, it's not that bad. Like, it's really not
there.
that bad.
It's a car, I suppose.
How many horsepower? I don't know, 300 something? So, this is not bad. So, the timing belt is still on there. It was just a little bit crispy, but, you know, little sand, yeah, little sandblasting.
There's some red paint left. But from what I'm understanding, you don't plan on having this be convertible because that would be too hard
No,
to
no,
throw
so over
away.
there, underneath that pile of stuff,
There's,
is another Ferrari F355, at least half of one.
yeah,
So that's going to be,
there's your roof.
yeah, there's my roof and my back quarter panel.
More than likely, this is gonna be my last cigarette,
Yeah,
yo.
some interior panels, some wiring, and it should be okay to graft on.
I've had this
And
pack
maybe
of
I'll do
cigarettes for
something like a
almost
wide
2
body
weeks.
kit. It's not like I'm going to be, this isn't for Ferrari purists.
Let's go to the 348 here.
These cigarettes,
Look at you
this shit is
and this
almost
lighting.
stale as fuck,
I should
yo.
probably invest in these stuff. Wow, it's pretty.
You know what it smells like, though? It smells like clutch.
Well, I had to back it on the lift. It's a 50-point turn to maneuver around all this garbage you have in here.
Garbage, how dare you? So, looking underneath, it's actually very clean. It's, I'm surprised. There's a little bit of oil seepage here. You can see right here.
Yeah?
So,
You gonna taste it like Wizard?
no, I'm not that advanced. So, it looks like it's coming from over here. This looks like a plug that got ground down for some reason. All right, you need to replace the brakes.
I have a little bit of a lip there.
You have, yeah, let's say this is Angelina Jolie. I mean, Ferrari in the 90s, they spent a lot of money and time on the engine, and the body they just really didn't care about. So the engine is like this work of art, and the body's just like slapped together.
Kind of looks like a kit car.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So there's a little bit of coolant right here, but this is the overflow tube, so that's normal. How's the temperature been?
May need a thermostat because it's not getting warm enough.
It's not getting warm enough. Okay, maybe. Yeah. So I would look into that. But this is, you can definitely see that there's some seepage here, so
Right.
it might have just been overfilled. There's a little bit of a leak right here, the exhaust leak, but it's just a clamp, so you can just replace that clamp.
It needs a whole exhaust.
It does.
It needs to come
This
off.
is, because there's aftermarket cats on it. So you can see this. Yeah, I don't think this cat's really doing the job very well.
Oh.
So yeah.
Oh wow.
So this is all like.
That's the Chevy there.
Yeah,
Exhaust shelf.
This is Amazon special for sure. What's really cool is that the clutch in this car, you can do it really? Yeah. So this, I don't even think you have to take off the bumper. You can literally just undo all these bolts and the clutch comes right out. It's like the easiest clutch job you can do.
So, making it back to Kansas.
Right.
1,400 miles.
We're gonna drive this?
Yes. Why? Because it's going to go over 100,000 miles. Or, I want to be the guy.
Okay. Well, the car I think is gonna make it. I don't think it's gonna be a problem with that. But I do need to talk to you about this paint. This paint is really bad. I'm serious. It looks like it was painted with a roller.
Now, yes, I wasn't told about the paint, but I don't
You're
know.
being told now.
It's a driver. It's a driver.
It's a,
You saw the Fast and Furious seats.
Okay.
This is the Fast and Furious Ferrari. You have the Lamborghini.
Okay.
This is the Ferrari. This is movie quality right here.
More than I can afford. How much do you pay for this?
35,000.
35.
No, it's a new Camry. Not even a top of the line Camry, and it's a Ferrari.
I think a Camry probably blow your doors off.
Probably a little faster. Let's be honest. Yeah.
But you know what you should do?
Go.
Just in case.
Yeah.
Fire extinguisher before you leave.
Oh. Well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's just do that.
Pop into Walmart. Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
All right. Wish me luck.
He paid $35,000 for a 1990 Ferrari. I don't know. I seen like when I was looking for cars though, I seen a 2000 and
It's true. A call. It's the profile pic plus
I think it was like a 2003 Bentley
Google Pixels.
for like 27 grand.
From $499.
I thought about that shit for like a half a second, like ooh, a Bentley. for 27,000?
Good morning. It is.
I don't know. Who would buy you know them that shit look like brand new, but if you had it, would you buy a fucking 2003 Bentley for like less than $30,000?
Tim in Oregon who believes there's some evidence for God.
I hope it's good evidence, because I would agree if we're going to include testimony that there's anecdotal evidence. But what kind of good evidence do we have?
Right. So first off, I just want to say this is a new thing for me, so I apologize if I fall over myself. But yeah, so a friend of mine wanted me to call in. I don't usually do this, but I'm not a typical Christian. I don't buy into, I'd say, 8% of what Christianity pushes.
Okay.
But I do believe in the Bible. So
Hang on. So I'm gonna let you continue, but there's two things I'm gonna be
I already heard that one. There's not a lot of new clips that I haven't heard from those guys.
The golden years of archaeology are not over. The world is still full of buried and hidden treasure, and experts and specialists are still out there looking for it. You don't even have to be an expert or a specialist to find that treasure, though. You just have to be lucky. Plenty of people have struck lucky with buried treasure in the past few years, and to prove it, we put this video together so you can check out their amazing discoveries. Aside from all the other atrocious things they did during the Second World War, the Nazis stole and looted gold, silver, and other precious treasures from every country they invaded. They often buried these treasures for safekeeping, and we're still looking for some of that buried treasure today. Somehow, a whole cache of it remained undetected in a 14th century Polish castle until June 2020. Now, Saxe Castle, which once belonged to the monarchs who ruled the land it stands on but now stands in ruins, was used by the Nazis as a hiding place for vast amounts of stolen goods during the occupation of Poland. It's long been thought that all of it was recovered years ago, but the Nowy Sachs Historical Association found one more treasure chest during an exploratory dig, and inside that chest, a collection of silver goods that were probably stolen from Jewish families. The bulk of the silverware was made in Poland, although some of it bears an Austrian maker's mark. The chest might have been buried accidentally when Polish soldiers retook the castle from the Nazis in 1945. Their assault on the building was so intense that they almost entirely destroyed it.
能对我的生活指手画脚。
This is very upsetting.
Being trapped in scares me.
Hiding goods under the floors of churches was a common way to stash valuables in ancient times, and that was proven to be the case yet again in April 2020, when more than 500 coins were discovered hiding below the ground at the Church of the Rosary of Our Lady in the Kosice district of Slovakia. A team from the local archaeological society was conducting research on the foundations of the old Renaissance-era church when they came across a ceramic mug that had been deliberately stashed below a stone slab. The coins, which are silver, date back to around 1702 and appear to be salary coins that were handed out to miners who worked in the area. It's unlikely that a miner would have been paid this many coins in their working life, so this was probably either the financial reserve of the mining company or perhaps even a collection of stolen coins. The more likely explanation, though, is that the church collected donations from the miners who worshipped here and stored them in a jug for safekeeping. The presence of a few slightly more ornate coins from further away in Slovakia appears to back up this theory. The 2020 lockdown situation that most of the world has had to deal with hasn't been fun for most people. But there's a family in France who might disagree with that assessment. That's because their children found 2 solid gold bars in their family home in May, when they were forced to play indoors instead of outdoors. The 2 brothers, aged 9 and 10, live in the town of Vendôme. When they were given permission to use their grandmother's old bed sheets to make a den, but as they went into their room and grabbed the sheets, 2 heavy objects fell from the back of the shelf and hit the floor. The noise attracted their father, who was stunned when he saw the shiny gold peeking out from under the sheets. He quickly contacted a local auctioneer by telephone, who made an assessment of the gold based on pictures and priced them at around $44,000 each. Documents found on the same shelf as the gold showed that the grandmother had bought the bars in 1967 as an investment, but apparently forgot to inform her family about its existence before she passed away. We guess finding out late is better than never finding out at all. Coin discoveries are relatively common for archaeologists, and they're almost as common for construction workers digging up roads or creating foundations for new houses. Not every coin discovery is worth the attention of the press, but this one from China is. So many coins were found during this construction project in June 2020 that the workers who came across them were lifting them out of the ground by the shovel load and carrying them away from the site in buckets. It's thought that a bucket excavator shattered an old wall during construction work in Shanxi, Huashan County, and set the cache of coins free. The workers quickly set about the task of getting all the coins out of the wall, but they found the more they dug, the more coins appeared. They dug a tunnel 8 feet long, and they were still surrounded by coins on all sides. By the time they pulled out everything they could find, their haul weighed more than 3 tons. Based on the range of dates on the currency, it appears that the collection was built up over a period of many decades, but the bulk of them come from the Song dynasty, which existed between 960 and 1279. The presence of an ancient government office some 180 feet away might give a clue as to how they got here.
Warren Flanagan has the solution for your best sleep yet. Get a free adjustable base with the purchase of select mattresses. Plus, with free next day delivery, you'll be sleeping better tomorrow night. Shop now at Raymore.
Our next amazing item wasn't discovered very recently, but its true value was. It's this ancient bone, which was found by British construction workers in Derby, England during the 1990s. They believed it to be a mammoth tusk. Instead of taking it to be valued, they sold it to a local businessman for around $300, and the businessman hung it on his office wall and left it there for many years. In 2010, he briefly considered selling it, and that's when he got his first clue as to its real identity and value. An American expert contacted him through eBay and informed him that the object he'd listed for sale didn't come from a mammoth at all. Instead, it came from an auroch, a long-extinct type of bull. The businessman misinterpreted this advice, though. Instead of believing that this might make his horn more valuable, he thought it would make it less valuable, and so he withdrew it from sale and put it back on the wall. It wasn't until July 2020 that he saw an article about an auroch horn for sale and realized he could be sitting on a fortune. And so he finally took the piece to be professionally valued. Only then did he find out that it was 5,000 years old and worth around $10,000. If you're ever walking along the beach and you come across a smelly, slightly sticky ball of mucus, pick it up and take it home. It might be your ticket to a fortune. Surachet Chanchu of Thailand knows all about that. He was combing the beach looking for waste to sell or recycle in December 2019 when he came across an enormous chunk of whale vomit, which is better known to people who work in the perfume industry as ambergris. This highly sought-after substance attracts huge prices and has been nicknamed floating gold. A single lump of it can sell for as much as $20,000. Surachet's chunk is much bigger than that. It weighs 37 pounds and could be worth anything up to $750,000. The average annual wage in Thailand is a little under $10,000, so this discovery could change not only Surachet's life, but the lives of his entire family. This substance forms in the digestive tracts of sperm whales and usually drifts in the ocean for years as it hardens before being washed up on beaches. It smells quite pleasant when it's old, but when it's relatively fresh, it's said to be extremely pungent. Almost nobody ever goes to bed poor one night and becomes a millionaire the next day. But every now and then, it will happen to somebody. It happened to a Tanzanian miner, Saninui Lazir, in June 2020, after he found a pair of rough tanzanite stones and sold them both for a combined price of $3.4 million. The gemstone gets its name because the northern reaches of Tanzania are the only place in the world that it can be found, and it's so rare that geologists believe there will be none of it left in the ground at all by 2040. Mr. Leiser mined the stones himself and sold them on to the country's mining executive for the record-setting price. As a father of 30, he has a lot of mouths to feed, but he won't have a problem doing that for the rest of his life. To give you an idea of the magnitude of his find, the previous record for the heaviest weight of any single tanzanite discovery was 7 pounds. Saninui stones weighed 12 pounds and 20 pounds respectively. It was such big news in Tanzania that the miner received a personal phone call from President John Magufuli to congratulate him on becoming rich. site of the Mentor shipwreck is already famous for giving up precious treasure. The ship, which sank in 1802 close to Kythera in Greece, was transporting the Elgin marbles to England when it went down. Those artifacts, also known as the Parthenon marbles, were recovered 2 years after the Mentor slipped below the waves. But as of October 2019, we now know there are still treasures to be discovered in and around the wreck. The most recent diving expedition turned up a collection of gold jewelry, the ship's cooking pots, a solid gold ring, some ornate gold earrings, and 3 beautifully carved chess pieces. When the divers returned to the surface, they reported that they'd seen other objects down there, including some statues and figurines, but were unable to retrieve them with the equipment they had on hand. This follows on from the discovery of Egyptian statues at the site of the wreck in 2016. It's incredible that precious goods are still there at the bottom of the sea after more than 200 years, and it makes us wonder what else might be hiding at the site of other famous shipwrecks around the world. On the topic of old discoveries providing new treasures, who would have thought that we'd still be gleaning information from the discovery of Tutankhamun's tomb in Egypt in 1922, almost a century later? Somehow, these pieces of embossed gold leaf went unstudied from the time they were discovered from the tomb that year until 2017, when a team from Tübingen in Germany decided to take a look at them. When they did, they found irrefutable evidence of a previously unknown connection between the Egypt of Tutankhamun's time and the Levant. It's believed that the fragments were once decorative fittings for bridles and bow quivers. Some of the images on them include a scene of goats and animals fighting at the Tree of Life. This kind of imagery is unknown in Egypt of the time, but popular in the Levant of the same area. It's possible that the images and the concept behind them came to Egypt from Mesopotamia by way of Syria via trade and conversation. To put that another way, it means that this whole area of Africa and the Middle East was part of a friendly trading bloc as long ago as 1340 BCE. Finding quartz at Coleman's Quartz Mine close to Jesseville in Arkansas, USA, is the whole reason the mine exists. So finding a cluster of the precious mineral there isn't a special occasion. The discovery of the cluster that turned up there in 2018, though, was a very special occasion indeed. That's because this colossal single-piece cluster is 8 feet long from one end to the other, and tips the scales at 2,000 pounds. It's the most valuable discovery made at the mine since it started operations during the 1940s. If it were to be sold as a single piece, it would be worth approximately $3.5 million. The company has done all the hard work of dragging the cluster out of the ground and cleaning it up, but so far they haven't found the right buyer for it. They'd rather it was sold as one cluster instead of being broken up, and so until someone comes up with the cash and agrees to take it off their hands, it's staying under lock and key at the mine. Many years ago, a devoutly Christian woman bought a religious painting and hung it on the wall of her kitchen in Compiègne, France. It hung there for decades and developed a thick layer of grease from being so close to the stove. The heat darkened the painting, and over time it began to look a little ugly. In 2019, the woman, who was by this point an old lady, decided to throw it out, but her grandson persuaded her to have it valued first. That's when they found out that this humble kitchen decoration was actually a missing work of art by Italian master Cimabue, and had been thought to be lost or destroyed for centuries. Known as Christ Mocked, it was finished by Cimabue in the year 1280. Cimabue's work is incredibly rare, and this piece becomes one of only 10 known to exist anywhere on the planet. Even with the grease and the damage from all those years on the wall, the valuer said that the work was almost priceless. Unsurprisingly, the family decided to cash in on their surprise asset. When they did, they received a sum of nearly $40 million. In 2019, a farmer in Ballycastle, Northern Ireland, returned to his farmhouse to discover that he'd lost his wedding ring while out working in his fields. Instead of telling his wife, he phoned up 2 friends who owned a metal detector in the hope they'd be able to help him find it. Those friends, Michael Gwynn and Paul Raynard, were unable to locate the ring. The farmer's wife didn't mind much, though, because while they were looking for the ring, they came across a set of 84 gold coins dating back to the 16th century, one of which is extraordinarily rare and is stamped with the face of the famous King Henry VIII of England. Putting a value on a collection of coins this unique is never easy, but the auctioneer who they were taken to said that they should be worth at least $150,000 to the right collector. When the auction came, they did a little better than that. The coins sold for just over $200,000, which was split 3 ways between Paul, Michael, and the farmer. His wife got a new wedding ring, and they had plenty of spare cash left over.
Oh, yeah. Oh, this feels amazing. Oh, yeah.
What's going on in here?
Oh, I'm whacking away.
Rob!
Whacking my hairs away with the Weed Whacker trimmer from Manscaped. Did you know this baby has skin-safe technology to reduce painful tugs and snags? And it's waterproof. Now, if you don't mind, Camille, a little privacy.
The new Cadillac CT5 ranks #1 in initial quality among mid-size premium cars. Current eligible lessees get the super ultra low mileage lease on this 2020 Cadillac CT5 for around $349 per month.
Do the big reveal. Dude, there's no way all of these we may or may not have to down the paying process. Today we're going to a storage unit auction and we're going to buy who put that there?
It says subscribe.
Hey, how convenient.
Jimmy, you about ready? Holy crap, bro. What are you
Doing my
doing in
prayer.
here?
Do you mind?
Who are you praying to?
Go to Neanderthal.
Whoa! Holy crap, I can't believe that worked.
Alright, everyone, I want you to bully Chris for his weed hoodie.
Can't wait to ride in this bad car all the way to Raleigh, Jimmy.
Yeah, take this deal.
Oh, man. Everybody say a quick prayer to Agent Sticker.
May our storage units be dang. We're about to buy all these storage units. So I'm a failure at life, and apparently we went to the wrong storage unit, so yeet.
Bro, this homeless guy right now is swagging. You cannot mess with this style, bro. Now look at this pimp daddy right here.
Hey, Daddy! You want 10 grand? I need a viral video. My channel's dying. Use decline it. This is actually my first time buying a storage unit. We tried recording when we bought it, but they told us to put away the camera and told us we weren't allowed to upload the footage. So this is after we bought it. This unit I paid $350 for.
Do the big reveal.
And come on in here. All right, so this is the part where we don't know yet. There's a lot of shoe boxes in here. And so, Chris, start opening them.
Dude, these are fresh and new right here. Oh my, and they're polos. These are all like, look.
Super nice shoes too. Holy crap!
Wait, you may have got your money back. Dude, if y'all need some shoes, Mr. B's got the hook on that. Adidas's right here. These are fresh.
Jeez, these all look new. I wonder how old it is.
Bruh, you know you can't come here without these shoes. Man, I'm all gonna get your girl right now.
Dude, you're looking fly right now.
Oh.
of shoes. My first ever storage unit. And we got 32 pairs of shoes. The funny thing is, they're all too small for me, but Chris, they're all his size. So, Chris, you just got a bunch of shoes.
That's why I'm wearing these dank ones right here.
Alright, first you know what you need to do.
First thing I see. Alright, let's see if I still got it. Oh, no, don't got it at all. See if you can do it, man.
Oh, this is easy.
Slightly worse. I didn't think it was possible.
Hey, Chris, remember when we broke that printer in my room that one time?
Yes.
Do you want to reenact it?
I don't know if we should break a printer.
Oh, whoops! Ah, shoot!
We dropped it.
Darn. What? What is? What? Is that an iPhone?
Yes, it's an iPhone. Jimmy, I think this would look perfect in your office.
Is this the new Giant Nation sticker?
Why have you forsaken me?
Yeah, no. Hey, who is calling me? Oh, she does.
Well, we got more shoes. We definitely
Wait, really? Another pair?
We needed more shoes.
Yeah. So this makes 32 pairs, 33, 34.
Some more Gucci flip-flops. This dude loves shoes.
Alright, adding these to a pair of shoes. We just have so many we don't care at this point. So now we're kind of curious what's in these little boxes, so, I don't know, are these clothes worth anything? I mean, here, let's lay all the clothes out here.
1 hour later.
Socks? Come here, why are you so far away?
Holy crap, dude, socks! Just what we needed.
To go with all our shoes, now we have a ton of socks.
Looks like we got some NFL stuff in here. Alright, it's got some change. There we go. You've made your money back already.
Wait, what?
Oh, dude.
Oh my.
A chain, dude. Holy crap. Dwelling gangster?
What is this? What is this?
Let me see.
We need to figure this out.
Chino Valado.
Look at all the jewelry in here. Oh my god.
That watch is $25 used. But hey, still, it's a watch, no?
Is that an Apple Watch?
There's no way that's an Apple Watch. That's like the Arabian off-brand of an Apple Watch. No, it is an Apple Watch.
That's a gold Apple Watch. Alright, here, we're gonna lay out all the jewelry we found.
Right now, we iced out, we out here in the store, like we got a chain on, we got a watch on, you know, we got everything up in the store. My dude, you Mr. Beast, he done hook me up with this Gucci watch right here. 100 on my wrist right now. 80 on his wrist, 100 on my wrist.
We're not gonna show this, but there's a ton of debit cards here. I don't know whose storage this is.
These are all a bunch of like business cards for ironically shoes stores and fashion wear. I wonder, yeah, dude.
Is this worth anything?
Nah.
I was worth $2.
Yeah, $2.
Hey!
Profit.
I feel horrible because there's literally like 5 debit cards. I don't see how this is legal to just like steal stuff like this from people.
You're right, but I'm right now. I'm on 2 chains right now.
You're getting chained out.
Dude, I'm 3 chains right now. I'm about to drop a mean diss track.
I wonder what's in this box.
And something like that.
It's a bunch of clothes. Oh, shoot, this is all personal stuff.
Yeah. Let's leave all this.
Yeah, we're just gonna leave this.
Jimmy, I've got your new camera.
Hey!
It's YouTube certified, bro.
Look at that.
It's YouTube certified.
This camera's YouTube certified, guys. I'm gonna be the next Logan Paul right here. Got my vlog camera. Go away. That's Jake Paul uses that stuff. Seriously, put that away. We got a new vlog camera.
Okay, well, just smash it, man.
What's in this suitcase? Hey! More shoes. We got some more pictures over here of our Lord and Savior.
You know, putting it upside down means you worship Satan. There you go.
I worship Asian Savior. Oh, thought we had more shoes. Hey, a mirror. I can see how ugly I am.
Shall I open this box for you?
Open it for me, friends. Alright, first up we have I am too blessed to stress over things. Hey, thank you card. That's actually kind of useful.
Thank you for subscribing.
And liking the video. And comment, I have a
bunch of gold chains now.
Why am I dabbing so much today?
I don't know.
T-shirts.
These aren't t-shirts, that's a lie.
Good. We did not put this in here.
Golden fidget spinner.
Dude, this priest know how to, get down with the youth.
He watches the Mr. Beast.
Alright guys, you guys can leave. I'm just gonna spin this for another 24 hours. Oh!
It's still on.
I feel like this needs to be put out in its misery.
Well, you did it.
I was watching Jesse. I threw it. It hit the ground and then Jesse went.
I wasn't hired to get a cameraman.
This wasn't my job. Next box. There's just a bunch of files and just random stuff. My money shot.
We kind of actually need all of this for our office. This is kind of clutch. We need all that. Wait, is this bleach? Oh my goodness. I swear. Fidget spinner bleach. Come on, they're gonna think we did this. I swear on my life.
It's almost like, it honestly looks like we planted stuff.
I swear on my life. We did not put this bleach. You guys aren't even gonna believe that.
There's no use in explaining. They're not gonna believe it.
They also I think we put all that jewelry in there. So.
You bet. We've got to flip it over, I guess.
Somebody's
I'm so strong.
No,
we did all that work. There's a bunch of batteries in here.
These are iPhone chargers. Dude, this is actually useful. Dude, I want to buy more storage units now. I heard my church. Alright, time out, boys. Put it right below Asian sticker.
Redemption time.
Asian sticker heart says church. Should he say that? I don't know. We're stealing from a church, but we bought this unit, so
we're still stealing from a church. We're gonna get smited by God or something.
The church should have just sold all the shoes in here.
That's what I think about the kids eating.
Wait, did you just hear me? Oh, is that a Bible?
You just threw it past your head, but you just yeeted a Bible, bro.
I didn't do it on purpose. Next time I yeet something, I'm gonna check. I don't know. Alright, so we're done cleaning out the storage unit. This is garbage. There's a bunch of clothes back there, but we don't really care for it. Right here, we got some tables and chairs. That's pretty nice. We got a bunch of clothes, I'll probably give it to charity, tax right off. We have 41 pairs of shoes. You want to see all these shoes?
Donate those as a tax write-off too.
Yeah, honestly, I'll probably just give them away. Jewelry, not quite sure how much of this jewelry is real. I don't know. I mean, I could lie and say it's worth. Actually, shouldn't we say it's worth like $10,000 for clickbait? Yeah, we're gonna act like this is all real, but chances are it's probably not. Just for the thumbnail. Got that. Got a painting. A bunch of office supplies. All right, so that was the first unit. And I can't believe what was in there. That was pretty crazy. But our next one is unit number 26. We're gonna slide this one open.
All right, guys. I think I'm gonna go grab something to eat. I'm hungry.
This is what we bought it. Hell yeah.
That's easy. $8,000.
Alright, I got what I wanted. We're done.
Alright, let's look.
Another pair of shoes?
Maybe. Big reveal. We got T. Martin. Alright, we may or may not have to found a painting by Yep, there it is. Picasso.
This is about $1 million, right?
Yo, Mr. Beast is crazy. All right. Really don't know what I'm gonna eat. Something quick, more than likely microwavable. You feel me? Huh? What can I put in the microwave real quick? Oh my God, I just can't wait to walk again. Like, well, I can walk, but, walk normally. Without the assistance of fucking a pirate's peg leg. Oh, yeah. half man, half machine. Alright guys, I appreciate everybody chilling in the studio with me. Like I said, I'm about to go grab me something to eat. Probably play some video games if y'all wanna watch me what I'm playing? Need for Speed Payback. Racing game. So I probably just find something quick for dinner and play some video games before I go to bed. So catch you guys downstairs in the living room.